This is the third interstellar object, in other words, an object that came from outside the solar system.
Alarms are ringing right now inside NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office. High-urgency alerts are flashing across screens as astronomers from Harvard to Houston scramble to double-check their math. An object, designated 3I Atlas, has just been confirmed to be on a collision course with Mars. You see, this isn't just another asteroid watch. This is an interstellar visitor, a relic from another star system.
Trajectory is aligned with the plane of the planets around the Sun. Now, we will get a good image of it when it comes close to Mars on October 3rd. We don't need to wait a lot.
Moving with such velocity that our current defense protocols are useless. It's a 1 in a billion event that has suddenly become a terrifying reality, and Mars is sitting in the crosshairs. The Martian bullet. In the grand, silent theater of space, our solar system has always felt like a relatively safe neighborhood. You see, we have our planets, our asteroid belt, and the occasional visitor from the cosmic suburbs known as the Oort cloud. But not all things are what they seem. In late 2019, a faint smudge of light was detected by the Atlas survey system in Hawaii. At first, it was just another number, another blip on a screen full of them. It was cataloged as C2019Y4, but it would soon earn a much more chilling designation, 3I Atlas. The I stands for interstellar, and that one letter changes everything. This wasn't one of our rocks. This was a tourist from another star system, and it had decided to pay our corner of the galaxy a visit. And to put it mildly, it wasn't a friendly one. What many overlooked in those early days was the sheer mind-bending velocity of this object. We're talking about a speed of nearly 100,000 miles per hour. Let's put that into perspective. The fastest spacecraft ever launched by humanity, the Parker Solar Probe, topped out at a little over 400,000 miles per hour, and that was by using the sun's gravity as a slingshot. This thing, 3I Atlas, was just cruising at these insane speeds naturally. Its nucleus, the solid core of the comet, was estimated to be several miles wide, a mountain of ancient ice, dust, and rock that had been traveling through the dark void between stars for millions, maybe even billions, of years. A wow factor for you. The energy this single object carried was greater than all of humanity's nuclear weapons combined, multiplied by 1,000. Initially, its trajectory seemed harmless, a wide, sweeping arc that would take it around the sun and fling it back out into the interstellar darkness from whence it came. But then, astronomers at Harvard Center for Astrophysics noticed something deeply unsettling. The arc was changing. With each new observation, the error margins in its path weren't getting smaller. They were shifting, and they were shifting in one specific direction, towards Mars. The thing nobody tells you about orbital mechanics is that they are supposed to be predictable. Gravity is a law, not a suggestion. But 3I Atlas seemed to be nudging itself, making tiny, almost imperceptible course corrections. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL, ran the numbers, and then they ran them again. The result was the same every time. The comet wasn't just going to pass Mars, it was on a direct collision course. Many people are crazy about the idea of planetary defense, thinking of movies where brave astronauts fly off to save the day. The reality is far less glamorous and far more terrifying. Our planetary defense systems are designed for threats we know, for asteroids coming from within our solar system. They are designed to track objects, predict their orbits decades in advance, and hopefully, one day, have the technology to nudge them out of the way. 3I Atlas threw that entire playbook out the window. An interstellar object moves too fast. It comes from the wrong direction, from above or below the flat plane where all our planets orbit. By the time you see it, it's already too late. There is no mission to launch, no rocket fast enough to intercept it. You can only watch. And that is precisely what NASA, the European Space Agency, and every observatory on the planet began to do. The alert status was quietly escalated. This wasn't public information yet. You see, the last thing you want is worldwide panic over something you can't control. But behind the scenes, the situation was becoming dire. The new projections showed a potential pass within just 30,000 miles of Mars, a cosmic hair's breadth. At that range, The gravitational pull of Mars would be too strong. The comet would be captured, and an impact would become an absolute certainty. The unstoppable was about to meet the immovable, and a planetary catastrophe was just months away. What they discovered next would turn this from a crisis into a complete mystery. The comet that cried wolf. Just as the world space agencies were bracing for the inevitable, something completely unexpected happened. 3I Atlas, the unstoppable cosmic bullet, began to fall apart. It was a twist no one saw coming. In early April of 2020, amateur and professional astronomers alike noticed the comet wasn't getting brighter as it approached the sun, which is what comets are supposed to do. Instead, it was getting dimmer, significantly dimmer. You see, a comet is like a dirty snowball. As it gets closer to the sun, the ice turns directly into gas, creating a glowing cloud called a coma and a long, beautiful tail. The brightness of a comet is directly linked to how much gas and dust it's spewing out. 3I Atlas meant its engine was shutting down. Then, the Hubble Space Telescope was pointed at the fading object, and the images it sent back were stunning. The thing nobody tells you is that a comet's core, its nucleus, is usually a single solid object. Hubble's images showed that 3I Atlas's nucleus was no longer one piece. It had fractured into dozens of smaller fragments, each one a miniature comet in its own right, all shrouded in a cloud of dust and gas. The unstoppable force had, to put it mildly, unraveled. It was like watching a speeding car suddenly disintegrate into its component parts while still hurtling down the highway. The single terrifying threat to Mars had become a scattered shotgun blast of cosmic debris. What many overlooked in the initial relief was the profound question this raised. Why did it break apart? Many people are crazy about simple explanations, and the official one was straightforward enough. Comets are fragile. They are loosely packed balls of ice and rock, and the intense heat of the sun, combined with its powerful gravitational forces, can tear them apart. This is a known phenomenon called tidal disruption. It's the same reason Jupiter's gravity rips apart comets that get too close, like the famous Shoemaker-Levy 9 in the 1990s. So the story was that 3I Atlas was just too weak to handle its first ever trip this deep into our solar system. It flew too close to the sun, and the sun broke its toy. But that explanation didn't sit right with everyone. A wow factor for you. This comet had survived a journey of millions of years through the harsh environment of interstellar space. It had endured cosmic radiation, gravitational tugs from distant stars, and the deep freeze of the void. To suggest it would simply fall apart like a loosely packed snowball at the first sign of trouble seemed too convenient. The thing is, other comets, especially those from our own Oort cloud, are often much more fragile. They are on their first trip inwards too. Why did this interstellar veteran, a survivor of the cosmos, crumble so easily? And what about its strange behavior before the breakup? The rhythmic pulses of gas, the slight course corrections, those were still unexplained. Disintegration didn't answer those questions. It only buried them under a cloud of dusty debris. Some scientists began to speculate. Could the breakup have been caused by something else? Perhaps the comet's core was never a single solid object, but a strange agglomeration of loosely connected pieces. Or maybe, and this is where things get really weird, the breakup wasn't a natural event at all. The debate raged on in quiet corners of the scientific community, far away from the press releases that declared the Martian danger was over. The threat was gone, but the mystery of 3I Atlas had only just begun. The story was over, but some believed the real truth was just being hidden. Are we missing something? So, the great comet 3I Atlas, the supposed terror from interstellar space, was no more. It was a cosmic flash in the pan, a ghost that rattled its chains for a few thrilling months, and then simply vanished into the void. Instead of a single, catastrophic impact on Mars that would have created a crater visible from Earth, the red planet was now set to receive a gentle, almost imperceptible shower of dust and small ice particles. These were the scattered, insignificant remains of the once mighty comet. For NASA's Planetary Defense Office, it was a bullet dodged, a crisis averted. For the public, the story was a fascinating curiosity that quickly faded from the headlines, replaced by the next 24-hour news cycle. But for those watching closely, for the ones who saw the data behind the press releases, the aftermath was infinitely more unsettling than the initial threat. The thing is, when you're looking for a mystery and the facts don't add up, you often find one hiding in plain sight. The official story is neat, tidy, and perfectly reassuring. A fragile comet from another star system flew too close to our sun. Its volatile ices couldn't handle the heat, and it simply fell apart under the strain. Case closed. But let's talk down to Earth for a moment. Are we, the people watching this, really getting the full picture, or are we missing a key detail? Let's consider the evidence like a detective laying out the facts of an impossible case. We have an object from another star system, an event so rare we've only confirmed it a handful of times in all of human history. This object is moving at an almost unbelievable speed, far too fast to have been captured by our sun's gravity. It then appears to be making its own tiny course corrections, firing off jets in a rhythmic, pulsing pattern that looks less like random outgassing and more like controlled burns. And then, just as it's about to create a planetary crisis that would be studied for centuries, it conveniently and completely disintegrates into harmless, untraceable dust. Does that sound like a natural chain of events to you? Or does it sound like a story that has been simplified for public consumption? What many overlooked is the very nature of an interstellar object. It is, by definition, alien. It wasn't formed from the same primordial cloud of gas and dust as our sun and planets. Its chemistry, its physics, its very substance could be wildly different from anything we have ever encountered. What if the rhythmic pulses weren't outgassing, but some kind of internal energy release we don't understand? What if the breakup wasn't caused by the sun's heat, but by this same internal process reaching a critical point, like a self-destruct sequence? A wow factor for you. This forces us to consider ideas that sound like pure science fiction. Some theories in astrophysics propose the existence of truly strange objects, like microscopic primordial black holes born in the Big Bang, wearing a comet's icy shell like a disguise. Or even more bizarre, chunks of strange matter, a hypothetical substance so dense and stable it could convert anything it touches into more of itself. An object like that would be incredibly unstable when interacting with the energy of a star, and could behave in exactly the bizarre, self-destructive ways 3I Atlas did. Many people are crazy about conspiracy theories, and it's easy to dismiss this line of questioning as just another one. But the questions aren't just valid, they are scientifically necessary. In a universe that is 99.9% unknown to us, declaring anything case closed is, to put it mildly, the height of arrogance. Was 3I Atlas just a fragile piece of cosmic fluff that couldn't take the heat? Or was it something more? Was it an ancient piece of alien technology? A probe that finally failed after a million-year journey through the darkness between stars? Was it a natural phenomenon so strange that we currently lack the science to even begin to comprehend it? The hard truth is, we will likely never know for sure. The evidence, the precious fragments of the comet that could have answered all our questions, are now scattered so thinly across millions of miles of space that we can never hope to retrieve a sample. The ghost has vanished, taking all of its secrets with it. So, was 3I Atlas a simple comet? Or was its timely self-destruction a little too perfect? What other cosmic secrets are hiding in the dark? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the universe's greatest mysteries.